What it do to all my free game people. And I'm here to talk to y'all today about the lost generation. Now, one thing that the lost generation, I'm stumbling on my words. The lost generation, I refer to that as my generation, the ones who are around their early 20s, you know what I'm saying? Mid to early 20s, even some of the older ones, but it's really our generation that really needs to hear what I'm about to say and really understand what I'm really about to get at, you know, because not only are we the lost generation, we are the generation that's supposed to help the world, you know, come out of darkness. I believe this is all personal belief. That's why we've been attacked so heavily and being, you know, attacked so heavily is the word I use. So the reason I refer to us as the lost generation is because of the fact that a lot of us have been tricked into living a certain lifestyle and to kind of trying to do things. Let me take this AirPod out. A lot of us have been tricked into living a way that is not positive and is destructive, you know. A lot of us don't understand that our minds have been infiltrated and have been distorted. A lot of us don't understand that a lot of things that we believe to be true are just mental tricks and things that's been put onto us by the enemy. First, I want to break down what it is to go to heaven and what it is to go to hell, in my belief. Or actually, not even what it is to go to heaven. That's a story for a different day, a different video. But what I believe it is to go to hell. I believe that hell isn't a place where it's just a bunch of fire and it's just and you burning all the time and I don't believe that's what hell is. I don't believe that hell is a place where it's just you burning. I believe, in my personal understanding of it, hell is a place where you're disconnected from the source. You know, we are all connected to God through our spirit, you know, but the fact that God gave us a flesh to where now we can make a choice between our flesh and our spirit, a lot of us, through the mental tricking and just a lot of things that's just been put on us, and with social media and all that, a lot of us have been choosing our flesh, so in turn we're killing our spirit. So with that, I believe it's driving a lot of us to a place of darkness and driving a lot of us to a place of ungodliness in a way. I understand that hell is a place of disconnection. You know, it's like essentially you want to live away from God, away from the thing that God gave you, which is your spirit, then God is going to cut you off completely, you know, and take away what he has given you. You know, I was listening to this story that somebody sent me. It was a story in the Bible about when God gave 3 people. He gave one person 5 bags. He gave another person like 4 bags, and then he gave another person 1. And in the story, the person with 5 bags turned it into 10, and the person with 4 bags turned it into 8, and the person with 1 buried his bag. So then when God came back, he was proud of the 2 people who had doubled it, but he looked at the man who buried it and was furious with him and took it away, you know. And the way that this is relating back to what I'm saying is because God has given us all a gift. God has given us all our spirit and given us things special about our spirit and our soul. And a lot of us are burying that gift under drugs and alcohol and mismanaged thinking. So in turn, he takes that connection away to where now you have nothing, and now and he gives it to somebody else. I believe what that is like, you know, what hell is it? What it is essentially a darkness, a continual feeling of darkness and a continual feeling of sadness, all the feelings that are negative to us that a lot of my generation is feeling. it comes from choosing your flesh continuously. That's how you sell your soul, essentially. In Galatians 4, it talks about all the things that I believe makes you selling your soul. That is what it is. Anybody and everybody can do it. You don't have to be famous to sell your soul. People sell their soul on a regular, everyday basis. But a lot of us are not understanding that we are being tricked into selling our souls, essentially. You know, a lot of us not understanding that the idea of you only live once, the idea of I'm young and turn, whatever you want to call it, the idea of doing these things is actually tainting our spirit and our soul. So in turn, what it's gonna do is sometimes you get so deep into it to where now your soul is gone. People don't understand that living this life never leads nowhere positive. It's only one way it goes, and it leaves you disconnected. And the feeling of disconnection from God is the feeling of utter disdain. You feel terrible at all. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe hell is that forever disconnection. I remember I was being told this story. I'm not gonna say who told me this story, but I was being told this story about somebody, and they had a close family member pass, and they said they had a dream, and in this dream they seen this family member walking around like a zombie, couldn't speak, nothing, just was walking around like a zombie with a bunch of other people who was walking around like a zombie, and they just was just like dead, just zombie like, had no life looking to them. And in my mind, and also I learned about what this person did in their life, and once I started learning more about what hell is and starting to understand it in my personal understanding, I'm starting to understand that that is what it is. It leaves you here disconnected. I believe my generation is being pushed towards disconnection. You know, God says that most of my people will perish through a lack of knowledge. Most of us don't know that we're being pushed towards destruction. Most of us don't understand that the lifestyle of drinking, having a bunch of sex with people, doing wrong to people, choosing your flesh, is you choosing to go against God. You know what I'm saying? This is all a test. You see what I'm saying? We've been put here with us, our spirit. This is what's inside. You got your mind, your body, and your spirit. Now your flesh wants to do what's contrary to your spirit. Now you were given free will. We was given free will, so we was able to choose between the flesh and the spirit, right? It's like almost like a test for us to sit here, learn, and choose the right thing to evolve. You cannot evolve by choosing things of the flesh. You can only evolve by choosing things through the spirit. And God was trying to explain to us not to choose the flesh by putting in the Bible the story of Jesus dying and crucifying the flesh, killing that part of the flesh, and then he was reborn in the spirit. And I'm not trying to get very biblical because I know it's not everybody will really understand what or really want to hear me. You should be able to understand what I'm getting at, but understanding that, you know, my generation, we are being pushed towards destruction through just the mental thing. And I could tell this to people, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna post this, whatever, right? But it's gonna be a lot of people who not gonna understand what I'm saying, who not even gonna believe me. But I have to say it, so then once it happens, you know what I say to be true. You know, I understand, and it feels right. That's why I know I'm meant to say this, because of the fact that I know what it's like to do things that are empty. A lot of the things that people are doing are empty, ego-based things, and your ego is always thinking about your flesh. How can it benefit the flesh? That's all your ego, and everything that has been promoted through, when it comes, whether it be social media, whether it be anything, like the things that's been promoted, especially through social media. I think social media is one of the biggest things that they use to promote these mindsets, because social media is an ego boost for people. It's an ego-driven thing. All it does is promote ego-driven thoughts. So the reason that people keep thinking that this shit is okay is because they see on social media other people being okay with said thing, when in fact it's all they're doing is promoting ego-driven thoughts. So they see another dumbass thinking that it's okay, so they think they should do it too, because it's reinforcing. They seeing it enough in their mind, so they know it they believe it to be true. And one thing I know is the more you choose the flesh, the less you hear your spirit, the less you hear your intuition. That's why a lot of us is out here without any divine protection. because we have been listening to our flesh. A lot of us have been, you know, having sex with a bunch of people, you know, smoking and drinking and doing all types of things that is contrary to the spirit. So God says you want to do things of the spirit, or you don't want to do things of the spirit, you want to live in the flesh and you want to live of the flesh, that's what you shall be. So now you are disconnected. Now you don't feel the feelings that you should. Now you're going through things like depression. Now you got a lot of anxiety because of the fact that you're not taking care of your spirit. I see what people, I get when they say you got to have a balance, but I don't believe that balance means still do things. I don't think that's what it is. I think God is putting us here to test us, you know, and to learn. Because one thing I know, we create without having, I don't have to try too hard to create what I want, because everything comes from me. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes from within. God has put everything in us to where we can freely create. Once you understand that, once you understand the fact that everything comes from within, it makes creating and manifesting a lot easier. It makes your thoughts a lot more powerful because you are aware of that fact and you are aware of your power. So then you believe that things happen more. So through that belief, the things come a little easier. But a lot of us have lost our way. And this is another thing too that I know, that some of us is too far gone. There's people out here that's empty vessels, and they empty, and there's nothing that you can do, and there's nothing that you can say that will change them. There's nothing, and no matter what they do, it won't ever change. Some of us out here are gone already, you know, and there's nothing that can be done to save that. Nothing that can be done to even change it or even make it any better. And the people that are already gone are the people who are going to promote you to live like, oh, forget it, I'm going to live my life YOLO. You only live once. Ooh, I'm going to do what I want. And they promote these thoughts because of the fact that if they don't, they will face the persecution. Because if they sit here, for example, if I sit here and I'm living within my spirit, I'm doing things that are exceptional and that is not the typical thing that's outside of the norm, and I'm being a good dude and doing this right, a lot of people will clown on me and say, I would have did this, I would have did this, because they living through their ego. If they was to sit up here and say I'm right, then they understand that they will then face a tremendous amount of guilt and face a sense of persecution within themselves. So through them ridiculing the good, they avoid persecution within themselves. Because they just, you know what I'm saying, they saying, oh, that's not right, because of the fact that they don't see a lot of people doing it. And then they trying to, you know, because for example, if I'm sitting up here, right, and I'm living my life the right way, I'm doing the right thing, and I'm living the right way. By them saying that, oh, what I'm doing is stupid and what I'm doing don't make sense, it stops them from being like, damn, because they innately know I'm right. Everybody, you gonna innately know what's right. Everybody, I ain't gonna say most, almost every person on the planet innately knows what they should do because they have a spirit and a soul. It tells you, it gives you the feeling, it gives you the understanding. It's imprinted onto you to where you know what's right and what's wrong. At least most people, especially my black people, we have an innate sense to know what's right and what's wrong. But through society, and a lot of us have fell to the defaults of society, we have went against that just to believe what has been told to us. And because of that fact, a lot of people are now falling within that problem, and now they are persecuting people who are doing what they know to be right. But the fact that they don't want to feel that persecution within themselves, they tell you you're wrong. So I'm here to tell everybody, choose your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody confuse you. Don't let nobody tell you that what you're doing is wrong. Don't let nobody that's living within their flesh tell you that living within your spirit is wrong. Trust me, I know that it sounds crazy, because sometimes, and this is a thing that I'm gonna get to. People say that nice guys finish last. I don't believe that. You know, I'm experiencing this experience. So to you, I may finish last, but I know I feel good. I know that in my mind, I did the right thing. I know that in my mind, I'm experiencing good feelings and good things. And 9 times out of 10, one thing that I learned when I was thinking that, and I was like, nah, they be like, nice guys. I'm like, nah, they don't. I remember one time I was talking to this girl, right? And I was fucking, I wanted to talk to her. I really wanted to get at her. Woo. And turns out I didn't end up getting her, whatever the case may be. And that saying crossed my mind, like, damn, me being nice, trying to be a good dude, fucked me over. But then later come down the line, found out this bitch was a J. She liked to throw the pussy on everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then turned out I didn't finish last at all. I dodged the bullet. See what I'm saying? So understand that living within your spirit will always benefit you in the most positive way. Don't let nobody who's living within their ego and living within their flesh tell you that what you're doing is wrong, because they don't even properly understand what they're doing. They don't even know that what they're doing is leading them to destruction. They don't even get it. They think they just living life and this is society and I only live once, and that's a trap. That's a mental trap. They putting it on us to make us believe to just do shit with no sense of consequences, no sense of spiritual consequences. That's the problem. That's what's fucking us all up right now, because we sitting up here thinking that we could just do whatever the fuck we want and ain't nothing gonna happen. And that's not the case. A lot of us is truly lost, and I'm scared for us, because a lot of us ain't gonna make it. A lot of us gonna be around this bitch like, a lot of motherfuckers gonna die and be like, damn, I was really bullshitting. Fucking 50 hoes a month. You know what I'm saying? Bitches out here sucking 5 dicks in a day and thinking it ain't nothing going on. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all. It's a very crazy world we live in, and I'm starting to understand that the only way to combat the shit that's going on and all the negativity and all the problems is to disconnect and live within your spirit. Be exceptional, people. And exceptional don't mean super great. Exceptional means outside of the norm. Be exceptional, people. Don't sit up here and let these people who are not living within their spirit tell you that you're doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, however way you need to live in your spirit, whether you a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, a Catholic, live within your spirit. Because the books, even though a lot of the books is meant to separate us and is meant to take us away from the knowledge that we are all one thing, that's really what a lot of these religions is meant to do, to take us away from the fact that we are all one. Everything comes from one thing, and there's only one thing that things can be made from, and we all come from said thing, which is God, but they try and call it something else, whatever the case may be. That all the religions is meant to just separate us. But if you, most of the time though, almost all the books is telling you to live within your spirit in some way, shape, or form. That's what they're trying to describe, live within your spirit. Because of the fact that it's here to teach us something. We're here to learn. We're like children. God has made us, and we are children. We're here to learn discipline, self-control. And through discipline and self-control, you experience happiness, joy, and peace. But a lot of us is not living within discipline and self-control. That's why when you don't live within your spirit, you take yourself out of your nature. See what I'm saying? And you can tell this in the black community. That's why you got a lot of motherfucking black men who acting like hoes and bitches nowadays. And then you got a lot of women out here acting manly as fuck because they are not when you live within your spirit and you do what is innately to be right, you are natural. You're going to stay in your natural state. And I go back to my last video when I was talking about our primal consciousness. They are taking us out of our spirit, and then once you start living without your spirit, your intuition is gone. So now you don't know what the fuck you should be doing, and you losing your divine protection. So then you are outside of your natural state. So then once you outside your natural state, shit is all fucked up and wonky. You're not gonna find nobody to love you. You're not gonna be experiencing the shit that you're trying to experience because you are outside of your natural state. It's a divine feminine and a divine masculine energy. They are tampering with that by telling people to not live within their spirit, and it fucks with it. It's fucking with a lot of people now. You know what I'm saying? It's not only just not living within your spirit, but they also tampering with our thoughts through the things we eat, through the things we listen to. You know what I'm saying? All that. They're trying to tamper with your natural state of being, and it's causing us to become the lost generation. It's causing us to become the generation of people who are not understanding what we're doing to ourselves. They so cold at this shit. They fucking us up so cold that they made us believe that the shit that we doing is things that we think is right. They done tricked us into doing shit to ourselves. We're killing ourselves spiritually and mentally. Now, don't get me wrong, me saying this might not mean shit, and a lot of people probably won't hear me, and a lot of people probably not gonna do shit, and that's okay. I'm not here to tell nobody how to live. All I'm here to do is get the information. So it's out there. You know what I'm saying? You didn't heard it. So then when this happened, you can't say that you ain't know. That's all I'm here to do. I'm here to speak within my spirit and feel what I feel to be right. And that is to tell you people, live within your spirit, people. Don't live within your ego. Stop doing things really check yourself before it's too late. And you wake up one day and you empty. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of this is promotion. That's what a lot of this is promoting, the promotion of emptiness and soullessness. Don't be that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Free game. Take care of yourselves, man. I'm out of here, man.